Give me some Ingram. I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here. Yes, they can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So Lamar Jackson in his second season, the Heisman Trophy winner of 2016, leading the Ravens onto the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram. 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram. His second touchdown on the season, and the Ravens have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Cardinals now for their first drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And certainly one of the mainstays in this offense is the crafty veteran L. Fitz.
Love the way you phrased it. Crafty. This guy knows how to get open and catch the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Let's go, defense. Johnson running right. he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And coming off a 1-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A handoff, it's Mark Ingram, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
No.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On second down, here's Murray. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll get nothing out of that one.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, Coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. He's going to field this at the 4. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Play fake. Murray. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know? Maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Nothing the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a handoff to Ingram. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down. But, hey, not only did they get the 1st down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a 1st down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Tucker now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Here's the Ravens defense as they head out to set up shop. And we're going to get a peek at some of the hits that have helped them get this 1st half lead.
And you know how the best hits happen? By being really good on that side of the ball in terms of fundamentals, being in the right spot, diagnosing plays well, and being there at the point of attack. They are really making it happen.
Here we go. Here we go. Quit talking about it and bring it.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards on the play, first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Here's Murray. Open man is Kirk, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Clay, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Cardinals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week, he hit on right at 50%. This week, he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, That's all you're looking for, but he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Jackson, always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They go play action with Jackson. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. Russell Wilson with 1 touchdown pass thus far. On second down, it's Ingram. Credit the tackle to DJ Swearinger.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Bust through the tackle. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
On first down, Johnson. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down.
Let's go.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
This quarterback now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range, so now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Let's go. Let's do it.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Murray going to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side, caught by Butler. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 4th down, here's Zane Gonzalez for the Cardinal field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start out with a rematch of Super Bowl 40 in Detroit. Seattle looking to get revenge as they travel to Heinz Field to take on Pittsburgh. And it's the Steelers who are out in front. Ben Roethlisberger has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Tom Brady at it again. 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Jimmy Garoppolo. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 2nd and 5 now. Murray.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Clay. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the 38, Murray. Left side here, caught by Clay. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
And able to find Kirk complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Let's go.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. A 10-play drive that time. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 24. Brought in left side by Snead. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Check, 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 check. Check, boom. Put up. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. Got some room at the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Jackson options out left. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Ready? 48th Mike. 48th Mike. Pick me up. Here we go. 48.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Cardinals will take over at their 20-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Johnson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Interception, baby. All game.
That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Ingram again. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No 1st down.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Murray. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Still 1st down.
Down. Coming to you. Strong left. Watch the curl.
Jackson, option right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 16 at the Cardinals' 41-yard line.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
Your trip is here.
But it's fourth down.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 50-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. Jackson options out left. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Kenny Young, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A gain of 13. It's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Jackson options out left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about to go ahead and pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens will extend their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for two. They'll try and run with Ingram. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go. And the try for two is denied. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the two-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Murray now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
Murray now on 1st down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. After the sack on 1st down, Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
That one goes for 30 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And he fends him off. Oh, that was dangerous. Thrown into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. 1st down, Murray. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The tally there, -8 yards. Leads to 4th down as well.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Trying to get it to Clay that time. That'll bring up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Murray and company going for it on fourth. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Caught right side at Snead. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they'll get this down to the 10. 18 yards there in the 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2nd and 5 now. Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there, and it's 3rd and 5.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks. Coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
For the field goal, a 30-yard attempt.
Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but, yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So for the Ravens, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.